Okay. I have a few problems with the way Disney has been treating the franchise. Now that I've seen The Last Jedi 3 times, I now have a pretty good idea of what Disney's trying to accomplish. So first of all, I do enjoy all the Star Wars movies. I enjoy all of them. Even this new one, The Last Jedi. Some of them definitely have more problems than others, and Last Jedi proves that. The first real Star Wars film that had a problem with it was Return of the Jedi, when the Ewoks were there. They were only there to sell toys for kids, basically. And no one bought the fact that Ewoks took down an empire. Like, you're telling me that a bunch of teddy bears took down an entire fascist empire? I don't think so. I don't buy it for one stinking second. Another thing, the prequels. Now, I give credit where credit is due. George Lucas did have an idea of what he wanted to make, and he made what he wanted to make, and that's how it is. He feels that the prequels are pretty good in his mind, and to an extent they are. They're all good movies. All Star Wars movies are good movies. But the prequels were really the first time it opened us up to maybe there is a problem with the franchise. And I'm going to go in depth later when I bring in The Last Jedi. So The Phantom Menace, probably the biggest letdown of all time. Let's be real here. It left people bored, it left people angry, and that's kind of happening again with The Last Jedi. With Disney buying Lucasfilm, they kind of put it in a new direction. Like, they now have like some kind of checklist for each movie. It's like, do we have a protagonist that's not male? It's like, check. Are the white guys the bad guys? You know, check. I feel like everything's relating to politics now, and it's just not working. Last Jedi is a prime example of this. I mean, the movie itself is pretty good. You know, upon the first 2 viewings I had, I enjoyed the movie immensely. But this third viewing really opened my eyes to the problems with the film. First of all, there has a lot of plot holes. Like, you're telling me, at the beginning of the movie, the First Order arrives at Resistance base, and they see that they're evacuating right in front of them, right? So they pull upon a dreadnought. Now, what would be the logical choice to do? Shoot the base that's abandoned first, or the fleet right in front of you so they can't escape? If I was a First Order officer, I'd shoot the stinking ship in front of me. I wouldn't shoot the abandoned base on the ground. I just flew in, I see all these transports boarding the ship, the entire Resistance is right in front of me, I can blow them up in 1 second, the movie's over. See, the First Order is just stupid. They let the Resistance get away when they could have blown them up in literally a second. And another problem I had was the phone call crap with Hux and Poe. Like, you're really gonna believe that, dude? You're a general. And like, you just witnessed him destroy an entire Starkiller base. And you're just gonna play with him on the phone? Like, what? It made no sense to me at all. If I was a military general, first of all, a military general, I just witnessed my base get destroyed. The guy who destroyed it is right in front of me, he's talking to me. I would say how angry I am, first of all, and then I would continue by blowing up his entire rebel fleet, just right there. Boom, movie's over. Another problem is the way Luke was handled. Now, towards the end of the movie, I felt Luke was handled really well, and it was a good end to the character. You know, he fought saving people he loved, kind of like how Rose was talking to Finn. But, like, Luke was just really irrational in the movie. First of all, he sees his lightsaber that the last time he held it was on Bespin when his father cut it out of his hand and he saw it fall to the ground. There isn't even a ground to the planet. It's a gas giant. It just kept falling. How on earth did they get the lightsaber? There's so many plot holes that are... Even Han Solo acted surprised when he saw the lightsaber. He was like, how did you get the saber? Maz Kanata was like, oh, that's not important. Everyone else is like, it's pretty important. Han thought it was important enough to ask about it. Luke just freaking threw it behind him and did not care one bit. If I was Luke, I'd be like, where'd you get this? And is my hand attached to it by any chance? Maybe, if he talked to Yoda or something, he's like, oh, you can use the Force to reattach your hand and stuff. I'm like, that would have been a better way for Yoda to come back. I mean, they fixed and ruined Yoda at the same time. They brought Yoda back as a puppet, which was what they fixed. He was just like he should have been in Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. But they kind of ruined his ghost form because they made him... He could summon lightning? Like, if that's the case, when Luke dies at the end of the movie, he says, see you around, kid. And he could come back as a ghost because he just disappeared. The only Jedi who come back as ghosts have disappeared, with an exception to Darth Vader. But I mean, if Luke could come back as a ghost, can't he just like shoot a lightning bolt like Kylo Ren and end the whole franchise right there? Like, what's stopping him from doing that? He could do that any second. Just like And destroying the tree was pointless anyways, because Yoda was like, oh, Rey already has the books, but I'm not going to tell you that, Luke. Yeah, at the end of the movie, Rey stole the Jedi text, and she's going to become like some kind of Last Jedi for Episode 9. Episode 9 should have been called The Last Jedi. This one should have been called Why Are We Running? Star Wars Episode 8, Why Are We Running? It's so dumb. Another thing that bothered me a lot was the fact that the First Order TIE fighters can't go 2 miles away from their Star Destroyer without getting lost in something. In A New Hope, which is 30 years before this time period in the Star Wars universe, they destroy the planet Alderaan, and when the Millennium Falcon shows up, there's a rogue TIE fighter out there. He's so far away from the Death Star, they thought it was a moon. Oh my gosh. So you're telling me that 30 years in the future, where they could track you through light speed, they don't have the power to, I don't know, fix their stupid TIE fighters? Oh my gosh. It's 30 years in the future. You tell me they don't have technology more advanced than 30 years before? The only thing that's new is that they can track through light speed. TIE fighters are still worthless. Grenade out. And why don't all stormtroopers have armor like Captain Phasma? Phasma's literally deflected blaster bolts. Isn't that what armor's supposed to do? Protect you? I didn't see any protection at all. Oh, there's just so many problems with The Last Jedi. Some of them are just inexcusable.
We planned for setbacks. Go again.
Another thing is how they had 18 hours. The First Order had 18 hours to figure out what a flank was. A flank maneuver. They would have ended the Resistance right there if they knew what a freaking flank was. They even used that maneuver in Return of the Jedi! They had the rebels, they trapped them with the Death Star and the Imperial fleet right behind them. And so, I'm still baffled that they lost in Episode 6. They lost to teddy bears! The Empire should have won in that movie. They had no reason to lose.
We can do this.
Yeah, the whole premise of the ships have 18 hours of fuel left, so we're gonna outrun the First Order was stupid. Are you telling me none of those ships, they all went the exact same speed for 18 hours, gaining no ground? What's the point of even staying there? You had at least 15 Star Destroyers there. You could have sent at least 3 or 4 in a light speed and get another group of Star Destroyers and flank them. Man, the First Order is dumb. You tell me no one in the entire First Order thought of, hey, why are we chasing them at the exact same speed with all of our Star Destroyers? How about you jump the light speed and trap them on the other side? There you go, movie's over. First Order wins. Another thing that was a little goofy was Leia. Leia in space. I understand why they put that there. We've never really seen Leia use the Force, and that was kind of cool.
They know where you are.
But
they'll come in hard.
The way they did it was just so odd.
Accessing fuel station
Like,
control.
They really have to. The way they killed off Admiral Akbar pissed me off too. Towards the end of the movie, Admiral Holdo decides to fly the rebel ship into the Star Destroyers and blow up all the Star Destroyers. Admiral Akbar should have done that. If they were going to kill him anyways, just do that. Made it at least worthwhile. Some of these people grew up with Akbar. You're just going to send him off in one puny little missile while Leia survives? No. That was stupid. Another thing, why couldn't the First Order just send one of those ships to light speed? They obviously don't care if the people die. You saw the way Snoke treated Hux. You saw the way Kylo Ren treated Hux. He was throwing them around the whole freaking movie. Why not send Hux to light speed into the Rebel fleet? They could have done that.
Need help.
Oh. I don't think there's ever been a Star Wars movie with so many flaws.
Decoupling cables.
Ha! Walker is coming online.
Man.
See to her safety.
Main systems online.
Ooh.
Locomotion engaged.
Another thing that was dumb, Chewbacca becoming a vegetarian for crying out loud. He already had the porridge dead. He was in his hand. He had it cooking. It looked delicious. I wanted to eat it. I wouldn't have cared that they're looking at me like that. I would have just been like, get out of here before I cook you too. You really told me that a Wookiee went vegan because of the way a porg looked at him. No. No. I don't buy it for 1 second. Oh. Most of the problems with Last Jedi are either Disney related or they're just bad writing. In this movie, there were some pretty spectacular parts to it. Like the sequence with Snoke and Rey, that was pretty great. I enjoyed that immensely. That's all I really wanted to watch in the movie, it was just them. I didn't care about Finn and Rose going into some casino. And why'd they have to go to the casino anyways? They could have just gone to another planet, grabbed some more fuel, and give them to the Resistance. If they're going the same speed, not gaining any ground. They could have just gone back and forth, giving fuel to Resistance. It's so dumb! One thing that really pissed me off was that Disney decided to do like some kind of stupid humor crap with this movie. Like, Disney, I feel, is doing the same thing what EA did to Star Wars. They're capitalizing it for the majority. Who cares about the majority? Not everyone's gonna like Star Wars. You don't have to make Star Wars for everyone. Only have to make it... You can make your good movies. Marvel's doing a pretty good job, but with their Spider-Man Homecoming, that was geared towards, like, teenagers only. If you're older than, like, 18 and you watch the movie, I don't think you're gonna enjoy it.
Checkpoint 1 reached. Walker passing the ravine.
That was weird. The controller just disconnected for no reason. I don't know where I was cut off at, but I'm just gonna say Disney pissed me off with the way they're handling Star Wars. Especially with Last Jedi. With Force Awakens and Rogue One, those were stories that were actually had meaning to them. Like, they needed to be told. Now, Force Awakens was a reintroduction to the franchise. It, let everyone know that we know that you like Star Wars, and we're gonna do our best to take care of Star Wars. And Force Awakens left some people iffy. They're like, they just think the same movie as A New Hope. Then Rogue One came out, and that was pretty freaking good. Rogue One told an original story. It actually made sense, first of all. It made sense for them to go to the planet and get plans for the Death Star. It also fixed the old movie. It fixed the giant plot hole in A New Hope. Like, why does the Death Star have this one weakness that no one knew about? Well, this movie explained it. See, they need more movies like that fix the franchise, not movies like Last Jedi where they just bring in new problems. And yeah, again to Disney, pandering out to every single audience. Do you really have to please every single audience, Disney? Like, who cares that the protagonist is a female? Who cares? You're having a movie called Han Solo, a Star Wars story. It's literally about Han Solo.
Watch for Imperials in the cage.
Literally every movie made by Disney that's in the Star Wars universe, the main protagonist has been some kind of female. And that's not, I'm not saying that's a bad thing or anything, that's good for women.
Rocket, walk ahead!
Good for you, you know. I'm just saying, they're trying to pan out to everyone, they're trying to please every single category. Like with Force Awakens, they please a lot of women, they're trying to get more women into the franchise. They put Rey as the main protagonist, and they made the white people as bad guys again. With Rogue One, there's not a single white male protagonist in the entire movie. Everyone has to pander out to some certain minority group in the movie. Disney, you don't have to please every single minority group. Now, Rogue One, those were good actors, though. Like, it was a good actor choice. I actually felt a connection with those actors. With Rose in The Last Jedi, I felt they just wanted to please a little more of their Asian audience, instead of telling a good story. If that's the way Star Wars is going, I'm not on board with that. If they're putting politics first, over good storytelling, I'm off of Disney. I do not want to be a part of that.
Let's take him. Walker's taking a beating.
And those were just a couple of gripes I had about Disney and Star Wars at this moment of time. Hoping Abrams has to fix the franchise once again. Episode 9. And that's the one thing that pissed me off even more. What I'm probably guessing is that they fired the Han Solo directors, they said, over creative choices. I wonder if that has anything to do with not making minorities a main part of the movie. I'm sure that has a major part in all of this. Disney is taking affirmative action too far. They're doing it with Star Wars now. Like, we've had some good characters in Star Wars. I don't mind a little diversity, but does every single main character have to be a different ethnicity in every movie? Man. If I were to rank the movies now that I know what Last Jedi really is, just the propaganda for Disney, I would rank it from my least favorite to my favorite. I would rank it Attack the Clones at the very bottom. That movie was just made to show that George Lucas has better computers than you. And then I'd put Phantom Menace, because that basically ruined all the mythos of Star Wars. And then I would put Last Jedi. Now, Last Jedi, you could be like, oh, but there were some really good scenes in the movie and stuff, and tension, and I agree with you, there are good scenes, but it doesn't make up for the rest of the movie. You're sitting there for 2 hours wondering, is this really the whole movie? The First Order is this stupid, huh? Last Jedi would be right after Phantom Menace, and then I'd put Revenge of the Sith. I enjoyed Revenge of the Sith more than I did The Last Jedi. Can you believe that?
I'm going in.
Then after Revenge of the Sith is Return of the Jedi. And then I would do New Hope, and Rogue One, and then, no wait, I'd do New Hope, Force Awakens, Rogue One, and then Empire Strikes Back. That's my rankings.
We'll have to hit fast. Take the base for the end of the Empire.
And I feel that's how a lot of people rank them too. Rogue One is really good. It fixed the New Hope, but also made one scene in New Hope seem kind of stupid in the very beginning. Again, with this affirmative action crap going on in my Star Wars movies now, I don't know if I want to support that. So I probably will see Last Jedi maybe one more time in the theaters, and then I'll only see it at home. Now I hope Solo, A Star Wars Story, does a much better job with handling its major problems. I don't think I even talked about the cancer bite scene in Last Jedi. That was so pointless. Why did we need that? Who cares about it? One thing that ticks me off is that why does the Resistance always have super, super detailed blueprints of the First Order's military? It's like they had blueprints for Starkiller Base. How did they get that? We had a whole movie explaining how they got blueprints to the freaking Death Star.
Laying down cover.
In Return of the Jedi, they at least explained it. They said many Bothans died to bring us this information for the second Death Star. overall, very disappointed with The Last Jedi. They could have handled it a lot better.
Don't be overeager. Make no mistakes.
Together.
Now, I do give Last Jedi props from going in a new direction, though. They went ahead and killed Snoke in this movie, which is something we hadn't seen before. We've never seen the apprentice turn on their master this early in a franchise. Like, it's only the second movie for Snoke. He's already gone.
Get in there, I'll cover you.
Now, a lot of people are going to complain about that because they're crybabies and they're like, they made this theory about Snoke and he's going to be super important. I know, and we're going to get all this backstory and people overthink it. They overthink it. Last Jedi is for people who only care about being entertained in the movie. It's not a thought-provoking film in the slightest. That's all I have to say about The Last Jedi.